part two here, just interrupted on a little technical gaffe, but I think it's going to be the speed of the Cowboys and certainly that Seahawks offense with Russell Wilson and company trying to get things done. Remember, Seattle doesn't have really a huge name, household name. Chris Carson's the running back, but it's not Marshawn Lynch. It's not one of their big guys they've had in the past years, but they're still getting it done. They're running the football really well. The offensive line has been great. Russell Wilson's a monster. I think if it wasn't for a Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees kind of showdown, maybe a little bit of Phillip Rivers, you might have to argue Russell Wilson as being the MVP of the NFL as well. It's just in one of those years where a couple guys just had explosive seasons. You can't argue Mahomes 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. So this game, to me, again, speed and talent of the defense up against the Seahawks and what they have to offer, Russell Wilson and company, I am just super, super mesmerized by this matchup. And I know that Seattle's got to travel. I know they're going from the Pacific Northwest to Dallas. I know it'll be a tough atmosphere and all the rest. I don't care. I'm actually going to take the Seattle Seahawks in this game. Let's go 27-23. I think they get it done. I like how they're playing in all phases of the game right now. And I think the Cowboys, even when they were winning, they seem to be a little bit of a flawed team. And I'm just not sure if this Cowboy team from start to finish can play all quarters against Seattle and keep up with them. I love the Seattle defense as well. They've gotten better as the season has gone on. We're going to see guys like Wright, and we're going to see Wagner. We're going to see other players who have basically bought into the system of Seattle right now, post-Legion of Doom. Remember, they had a bunch of other superstar players, but they got rid of all the guys who talked too much and wanted to get into politics and, were throwing braggadocio all over the place. This is a team in Seattle that is now very, very grounded. They've built it around the quarterback, which is what everybody should be doing in the NFL right now because of the rules and the way the game is and the passing and all that sort of thing. And Pete Carroll still got it. Pete Carroll's still delivering a message to his team on a regular basis that is getting through to them. When remember that article that came out when the Seahawks were getting broken up and all the rest, and Pete Carroll isn't the guy, and he can't. Well, you know what? Fast forward right here to January 2nd as we record this thing, and the Seattle Seahawks have been a very good team this year. I think they're a super dangerous team in the NFC playoffs. I'm going to take them over the Dallas Cowboys 27-23. All right, let's get up to the Sunday games. The first one, of course, the Chargers and the Ravens. This is an interesting contest considering that just recently on a Thursday night, the Ravens came in and they beat the LA Chargers on the road. The Chargers have to fly cross country. The Chargers won 12 games this year. What's the thank you? The thank you is that they have to go on the road in the playoffs, right? Because the division winners host all of the postseason games, and the Chargers going on the road. You know what? They've been one of the better teams on the road in the NFL this year. In fact, I thought that home field advantage was super crucial in both the AFC and NFC. The problem, of course, is that for the Chargers, they don't have a great home field advantage because people are not going to the games. They don't have a lot of Charger fans going and supporting them in Los Angeles. And I'm still convinced that that city shouldn't have two teams. I think the Rams are going to end up stealing the show, and the Chargers are going to be in a lot of trouble, and they could move in the not-too-distant future. I doubt that the money that Stan Kroenke and company put up, I doubt that the Rams and their success and all the rest, I doubt that the people they have on that roster are not going to last comparatively to the Chargers. Remember, Phillip Rivers is also getting up there in age as well. But the story of this game, clearly to me, is Phillip Rivers against the unbelievably fast and ball-hawking Ravens defense, the team that probably has the best defense in the NFL. When you look at the way they play the middle of the field, they're opportunistic. C.J. Mosley made a big pick on Baker Mayfield. This whole year, they've been making those kind of plays. This team in Baltimore, they get to the edges quick. They blitz the hell out of you. They control the middle of the field. They tackle extremely well. This is a really, really, really good defense, and it's going to be interesting to see how Phillip Rivers can kind of maneuver, Melvin Gordon and screen plays and hitting Keenan Allen in space and all the rest. I'm looking for the Chargers. All their offensive weapons must come to play against Baltimore. I think turnovers are going to be a huge factor in this game based upon how both defenses play. I just talked wax poetic about the Ravens, but what about the LA Chargers? This team has a defense that brings it up front as well. We know that Bosa hasn't been healthy all year, but right now that defensive line seems to be pretty good. Melvin Ingram and company. I think this game is going to be unbelievably close. As much as I want to go with the Baltimore Ravens at home, and the Lamar Jackson factor and the fact that they've been running the ball, controlling a lot of the games in terms of possession and turnovers and all the rest, I am actually going to take the Chargers super close in this game, 31-30 on a late drive by Phillip Rivers and a long field goal to end it, 31-30. I will take the Chargers over the Ravens. This team is not intimidated by being on the road. All right, finally, the game that I'm looking forward to the most is the Philadelphia Eagles against the Chicago Bears in the Windy City, and I just am glad that the Eagles are in the playoffs. I don't love the Eagles by any stretch. I don't know as if I hate them as much as some others, but I'm kind of indifferent to it. And when you're in sports and sports media, you kind of root for the best story unless you really do despise a team, like I do with the Boston Red Sox, for example. But the Philadelphia Eagles in this particular situation, the drama's there, right? You've got Nick Foles trying to get back to a Super Bowl. This team rallies around Nick Foles. This team defensively plays better, offensively plays better. All of their offensive weapons are just fantastic in space, getting open. Algalor is a little bit better of a player. Jeffrey's a little bit better of a player. And you know what? Doug Peterson says all the time that it's just a simple transition from Carson Wentz to Nick Foles, and it's the same exact playbook. And I got news for everybody from what I see, and I'm no football video guy, but I got to tell you, Doug Peterson opens up the playbook, in my opinion, even more with Nick Foles, and this offense seems more comfortable with doing that. Trick plays, opening it up, doing a bunch of different things, and of course, they've been able to complement it with just enough of a ground game as well. I love this matchup. I think it's going to be a terrific, terrific battle. I think the Eagles will hang in it for a while, but I will go with the home team in this situation. I just love the Bears defense. I love Akeem Hicks. I love Khalil Mack. I love Roquan Smith. I love Eddie Jackson. I love these guys who can come at you from every possible angle. And you want to talk about the Ravens as a opportunistic turnover machine defensively. Same thing with the Chargers. How about this Bears team? They got Khalil Mack and completely changed the outlook of the entire offense. This is a fantastic, fantastic unit, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the Eagles' offensive line and Nick Foles, who's going to have to get the ball out of his hands extremely fast against the Bears defense. I'm excited to see how they're going to match up against that team. And I will tell you this, I think Soldier Field's going to be the best home field atmosphere in the NFL this weekend. When you look at the best home fields, I am dying to go to Soldier Field. It's on my bucket list. I've been to Lambeau. I've been to Cleveland. I've been to Buffalo a slew of times. I've been to Charlotte, which is okay. But I've got to get to Chicago. I want to see Soldier Field. Even though it's not the old Soldier Field, I get it. This place is still really, really special. And, you know, the Bears, for the fact that they haven't had, besides the fact that they haven't had a lot of success, recently, they haven't gone to the playoffs a bunch. They haven't won divisions. They haven't won a Super Bowl since '85. The last time they went to one was 2006 with Rex Grossman when they lost to Peyton Manning and the Colts. Despite all that, they're still an old original NFL team. Cool uniform, George Halas, Walter Payton. You think of all those players, Red Grange and company. You think of those old days when the Bears dominated and Halas and all that. I just think that they're a really cool franchise. Awesome uniform, awesome history, and certainly a lot of big names as well to go along with it. But the Bears, look, they finally win a division. They finally win double digits and all the rest. This is a very good football team, and they've got the creativeness of Matt Nagy, who has proved this year, along with a few others, that the head coach is probably as important of a hire as the quarterback is in terms of your franchise guy. Well, here I am, Mike Lindsley, 9 minutes with me from the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. Make sure you get down here for lunch or dinner if you're in and around Central New York, and go like Phoenix Sports Restaurant on Facebook as well. Thanks for watching. YouTube, IGTV, and Facebook. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.